Hey, hello again. Mike O'Brien, your Getaway Guy. Ready for another travel adventure? How about a day trip for you and the whole family? It's affordable. To my hometown, Corning, New York. And the star of the show is the Corning Museum of Glass.
So out of Rochester, what I do is I head south on 390, which connects to 86. And it takes you right into Corning, New York. It's about an hour and a half drive. And I got to tell you, in the fall foliage through the southern tier is outstanding. Now, when you're in Corning, look for the signs to the museum. They're pretty much everywhere. And you're going to see the museum old and new kind of connected together. And I'll tell you more about that. A lot of that due to the flood of 72. But inside, you're going to see, it's just amazing how much is in here. 35 centuries of glass. And I know at first you're going, well, so that sounds boring, but it's not. Wait until you see the antiquity, the beauty of the glass. And it's a nice, calm, quiet atmosphere. It's very relaxing to just walk through, but you're seeing some outstanding things. You'll also see them making glass. They have a hot glass shop, or a hot studio, hot shop they call it, and you'll have times as to when audience gathers to watch the making of glass. It's with your admission, you'll get the schedule. Dale Chihuly, if anybody knows anything about world-renowned glass sculptors, his work is right in the lobby. Look at this monstrosity. It's absolutely beautiful. Just part of the Corning Museum of Glass when you go check it out. This is quite a museum. And again, like I said, we'll talk a little bit about the flood and how it changed the museum, again, back in 72 with Tropical Storm Agnes. A couple of other things. They have glass from like everywhere, but the kids were going to enjoy this as well. 35 centuries of glass, plus lots of art demos, glass making demos. And I'll show you that in a second, some pictures of that. But there's plenty to see at the Corning Museum of Glass. And just when you think glass and kids don't go together, they actually do here at this great day trip to Corning, New York. And I'll tell you more about that in a little bit. I want to say hello to our new partner on the show, Schutz. Have you ever been to Schutz Apple Mill in Webster? Well, I have. I've been known to go there quite frequently in the fall for sure. Schutz is a wonderful apple mill. They've been there for a long time. It's a family-run operation. They've been doing it since 1918. Amazing, fresh, pressed apple cider, as clear and clean as can be, right on the premises. They come from all around for the fried cakes. They are so good. Fresh baked pies, too, at Schutz Apple Mill in Webster. They also have the fresh picked apples right from their orchards. It's right next door. A huge variety of different apple trees offering you pick apples, and right now you cut flowers, too. So they've got everything you need. Schutz. It's 1063 Plank Road in Webster. I've been known to grab a jug of cider and a box of fried cakes, open the trunk of my car, sit in the back in the parking lot, and just eat cider and donuts. If you see a guy shoving his mouth with donuts and drinking cider in the parking lot, that's me. Okay? It's not a pretty picture, but it's so good. I love Schutz. And I was just there the other day getting the pictures that you just saw. And it's a great, and they have a great, kind of like a gift shop too, with old fashioned candies and spices. Anyway, if you're looking for apples, that's the big deal there. It's Schutz Apple Mill. Again, Plank Road in Webster, one of my faves. And thanks for being a part of our show, Schutz. Corning Museum of Glass. Let's go back to the museum. I want to tell you a little bit more about it. Your kids are going to love this place. Once you go inside, it's absolutely breathtaking. Every corner you turn, and certainly demonstrations going on. I think the kids are going to love this. They also have an amazing contemporary art and design exhibit. It's all in white, and it's sculptures of glass that are so unusual and contemporary. It's a very surreal surrounding of great works of glass. By the way, the shuttle bus will pick you up right at the museum, and the shuttle bus will take you into town of Corning. You can go here to the Rockwell Museum of Western Art, which is a great combo ticket that you can buy. Down Market Street you go. It's right across the river from the museum, and this is nice for restaurants or shopping. And there's plenty of shops, for instance, like Tommy Hilfiger and many others. But if it's food that you're looking for, a lot of little restaurants. My favorite is Anelio's, right on Market Street in Corning, and it has everything to do with the pizza. Now, that's Sicilian pizza. They have other kinds of pizza. They also make a great jaw-dropping meatball sub. Also an eggplant sub. It's just done so well. So and it's very, moderately priced. So it's nice. You can sit outside or inside, whatever you want to do. But Anelio's, yum, good stuff for food when you're on Market Street in Corning. Now, I also want to mention the admission deal. First of all, Corning Museum of Glass is open every day from 9 to 5 this time of year. And their website, I want you to go to the website because you can order tickets on their website, which is CMOG, CorningMuseumofGlass.org. That's their website. And here's what makes this a great, affordable family restaurant, family museum, family getaway from Rochester or wherever you're coming from, is that kids 17 years of age and under get in for free. I've lost my notes on this, but that was like one of the big things about the Corning Museum of Glass, especially if you're a family. 17 and under get in for free, and then adults are $20. If you're 62 and over, it's $17. And I did talk about a combo ticket where you get both museums, the Corning Museum of Glass and the Rockwell Museum of Western Art. They reduce the price. You get two museums, and your tickets are good, whether it's one museum or two, for 2 consecutive days. That includes the kids 17 and under getting in for free. So it's a cool package. And if you're in town for an extra day and you want to do more of the museums, the combo ticket takes care of everything for you. So, check that out. I mentioned the shuttle that'll take you across the river, or you can walk over to Market Street too. It's a pedestrian bridge, used to be for vehicular traffic until the flood. And I'll tell you about that in a second. But now it's a pedestrian bridge. And honestly, from the Corning Museum of Glass to Market Street, take you 10, 15 minutes to walk over there, and it's a nice walk. It's a nice little town. It really is. And I'm a little partial because it is my hometown. I think, and I grew up there as a kid. I got in a little bit of trouble. But they have my picture in the post office prominently displayed, which I think was nice. What? So I love the museum. We talked about the museum admissions, the Rockwell Museum. Also, I want to talk about wheelchair accessibility. The Corning Museum of Glass is wheelchair accessible. And here's something else they provide. And leave it to the Corning Museum of Glass to come up with eyeglasses for people who are colorblind. Who else would do that? They do that. And honestly, there are more people around that are colorblind than you'd believe. And so if that's the case, they provide you to borrow for the day while you're there these special glasses. And I think that's outstanding. Plenty of restrooms at the museum and an amazingly large gift shop. Get ready, folks, because there's lots. I just bought my grandson a lava lamp as I was just leaving there after filming at the Corning Museum of Glass. You kind of walk through the gift shop, which is enormous, and I saw lava lamps. And I went, I've got to get my grandsons a lava lamp. If you grew up in the 60s, you knew exactly what those were, and I did, or 70s. Is it more 70s, Joe, you think? 70s, 60s. Growing up at that time of my life was lava lamps and everything else. But they're available, plus many other great things in the gift shop at the Corning Museum of Glass. And I loved it. It was fun going back there. I enjoyed it a lot, which leads me to today's podcast question. Is that next on our list, Joe? Honestly, I'm just all over the place. And the reason we're doing this podcast question, a couple of podcasts ago, we did have one viewer write in asking about the flood of 72 from Tropical Storm Agnes. And the question back then, and we'll address this today, was the museum damaged? Boy, was it. This comes to us from, I believe it's Elaine from Brockport. And she wants to know, was the Glass Museum in the flood of 72 damaged? Was it damaged? And the answer is absolutely it was. 5 feet of water and mud. And let me stress the word mud. When a flood hits over the banks of the Chemung River, that's what happened back in 72. It brought in so much water, but more importantly, mud. And the mud was what really damaged everything. It really did a number on the museum, but people came to the rescue from all around, other museums, because this was a tragedy to a museum in the United States that never really had happened before. So they had a lot of help, and they were able to open back up sooner than later. So, and there's even a huge mural in the museum you will see, which is like an aerial shot of the museum grounds and what it looked like while it was under all that water. Again, that was back in 72. They reopened on May the 28th, 1980, officially everything. They actually opened up much earlier, like a month after the flood, but it was piecemeal. But the whole museum, May 28th of 1980, museum reopened, restored, new galleries, and that new part of the museum that you may have seen at the beginning of the show, it was raised above flood level. So again, that's what I meant by the old museum connecting to the newer part, which is elevated. And it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful architectural structure, the Corning Museum of Glass. And if I may just make a quick note, in 1972, right before the flood, before anyone knew the flood was coming, I was learning my lines to become a tour guide at the Corning Museum of Glass. I had memorized them all. I had my little badge and I had my little blazer, and I'm ready to go. And then the flood hits and I never got the job. And that's what brought me to Rochester, New York. And now I'm doing this. And so it's funny how life changes when something like that happens. But that's the Corning Museum of Glass. And I think you're going to like this day trip. Again, you can do this in a day. Leave early in the morning. And if you do leave early in the morning, grab a good hearty breakfast first. Where would I go? Well, how about Jim's? Jim's on Main, one of my favorite little breakfast joints in Rochester. Good breakfast. It's cheap. Late riser. I just had one of those this morning with coffee. Certainly refills all the time. Elena and family run a great operation. Don't miss all the different items on the menus. And it's cash only. There is an ATM machine. They're open every day. Jim's on Main, also Jim's at the mall. They are part of our show, as they have been for a very long time, and we thank them very, very much. Hey, don't forget about my travel books. If you don't have yours yet, these make great holiday gifts. I know we're talking holidays already, but people are starting to make plans. 50 day trips, my favorites that I did on TV, are in each one, including some haunted getaways in volume number 2. So if you don't have your travel book, which you just throw in the glove box in the car. We talked about gloves. Do people actually put gloves in that box anymore? I don't think so. It's usually Kleenex tissues and some hand sanitizer now. But throw them in the glove box and go on a new adventure. Every weekend, the Corning Museum of Glass is also an attraction in my travel books. Buy one, get one free. I have a BOGO offer. When you order with me, go to MikeTheGetawayGuy@gmail.com and tell me what you need. MikeTheGetawayGuy@gmail.com. My travel books are also available at Powers Farm Market in Pittsford on Marsh Road and at Lift Bridge Bookshop in the village of Brockport. And that's pretty much it. Thank you very much for joining us today. I hope you've enjoyed our getaway to the Corning Museum of Glass. And we'll do another one next time to another great getaway for you and the whole family. And one of the ways that most people see the show is looking for The Getaway Guy on Facebook. Like us, share us, and enjoy. Until next time, I'm Mike O'Brien, your Getaway Guy.